What do you think of Torque versus Unity versus UDK?
At least you know UDK is not Unity.
Unfortunately, I still cannot remember the equation for Torque. All I do know is that it is also the name of a recommended game development engine.
UDK takes a large chunk of any game sales.
That only matters if I sell a lot of games. Unity I know costs several $1,000s to install and run, since you have to pay for a 12-month license when you get it.
It is a lousy custom language to begin with.
Have you worked with any of the game development engines that run on C++ and C#? Those are lousy too.
UDK's game development platform gives you limited access to the engine code itself.
I've heard about all the fun you can have manipulating the code of the game engine, but what I care about more is how well it works, and what it costs to get.
Unity 3D has put in more restrictive licensing.
Even a lot of open-source engines start charging you licensing fees, once you hit some magical sales number.
Unreal Engine is a third or less the price of Unity, while CryEngine is around a sixth of the price of Unity or less.
Unreal Engine's asset store is nowhere near as good as Unity's. The downside of Unity's asset store is that they charge you out the asset for all the add-ons.
And then there's the fact that Unity charges you 5% of all game sales, whether or not you sell enough games to offset the $1,500 or more per license seat.
Sit down and tell me about Torque.
Torque is cheaper.
I think that's because it is open source.
It lets you deploy to PCs and Macs, Xbox and Wii, without having to pay for the professional version that Unity does. One of the downsides is trying to get it through GitHub without having delays, because so many other people use it in place of BitTorrent.
You can get it through other sites.
One of the downsides of Torque is that it runs off a weird combination of C++ and a proprietary language called TorqueScript.
And I thought using Lua, which is not that widely used, or esoteric ones like Scheme was bad.
One upside is Torque is that it is evolving, adding features and functions. One of the downsides is the small online footprint and newness, that means documentation and support are really limited.
What's the benefit of being on the bleeding edge?
The ability to release to SteamOS without using Steam's recommended development engines.
That's almost an argument for UDK.